Have you heard of the recent chess personality quiz? Well, it's one that I just came across now, and I thought I'd make a fun one to show so you can see, well, what chess personality am I going to get as such. And you can sort of see, give me some different questions, and we'll get to see which of these 16 personalities I'm going to be. Actually, let me know in the comments below, which of these 16 personalities do you think I'm going to get? Alright, let's do the quiz, and let's have some fun with it. And if you enjoyed the video, do make sure to leave a like and also to consider subscribing. So the question is, white has a promising sacrifice. Knight takes f7, exposing black's king. How would you more likely justify the sacrifice? Either the king will be exposed and it must be good, or we try to use brute force calculation. And I already know that knight f7 is a good move, so my approach would just be, okay, I know it's good, so I'll just play it and figure it out over the board. So that would be my answer. Which superpower would you rather have? Perfect opening knowledge or fastest mouth speed? I think perfect opening knowledge is quite overrated. It doesn't really help that much because the engine's worked everything to equality anyway. So fastest mouth speed for sure. Is going to win a lot more games. 1 a.m. on Friday, your opponent's flagged to a completely losing position. What do you do? In the old days, I would have been going on tilt and lose 100 ELO, but now I just call it quits and head to bed as soon as I start playing badly. Which more accurately describes your opening. Only play openings I know well and have carefully studied. It was a long time since I studied. I haven't really studied openings much lately. Most of my knowledge is literally I just prepared for a YouTube video on my channel. So it's me, I just play whatever was in the latest Gotham chess video. I'm replacing it with, latest Max video, and it's pretty much accurate. Why just capture knight f6? How are you more likely to recapture? gf6 or bishop f6? I mean, bishop f6 might objectively be the better move, but I know for me it would just be gf6 is what I would play every time. Just going a bit more dynamic. Your opponent play king e2. How do you feel? Either disrespected or I feel good about my chances. Yeah, in the old days it would have been this one, but now it's just, I feel pretty good on my chances. Just play logically and you'll have a good shot. How do you react when your opponent starts talking trash? The funny thing is, neither of the answers really fit me that well. To me, I see it as part of the game, but I'm not really the one who starts to trash talk. I just let the moves, I let the chess speak for itself. But it's also not true that I dislike it. I think that probably one is what I'm a little bit closer to, so we'll go with that. I easily prefer a 99% accurate game to a brilliant move, because you can make a brilliant move and still lose so often. Firstly, when you finish a game, I kind of run my game reviews in sort of batches rather than doing it one at a time. So definitely start a new game for me. Which then bets on how you evaluate. Yeah, for me, I wouldn't really be calculating super deep. It would just be my intuition would tell me. I can tell almost instantly, after takes, king g7, rook h8 is very safe for black. Bishop e6. King h1 is going to be too slow here. So, just intuition. Which you play first. It's easily f4 in this position. It's just much better to, have the flexible pawn structure. Which you're more likely to do first. Yeah, for me, it's a value to play as king safety. Half time I actually forget what the material count is when I'm playing, but take a free piece or checkmate. I mean, the old Soviets, Botvinnik said, always take the piece over the mate. So we're going to go with that. How would you respond? I mean, queen e2 is, I think, way too reactive. Castles are easily the best move here, I reckon. And I think bishop h7 in this is not really working. Knight g5, king g6. I mean, queen g4 is met with f5. Queen d3 is met with f5. h4 runs a rook h8. And rook f3 is just too slow up to f6. So it's very easily just build up position knight e5, a3. These sort of moves would be normal. Knight f5 is probably better there, but if you're going to play one mode, it's definitely survival. 3-minute puzzle rush is just a waste of time for improvement. So it's easily survival. I have broken a lot of things before, so it's easily that. How many moves ahead do you typically calculate? I actually don't really calculate super deeply. I just kind of see all the ideas almost instantly in the position. I look for 1 second, I already see 4 moves ahead. And I don't tend to see so much more beyond that. Unless I'm solving an endgame study or it's really required. But most of the time I find my first instinct will be correct. So just one move, the best move. My first ever in-person tournament game would have been very nervous in the past, but now I'm pretty chilled about it. If I was playing, I know I'm a pretty good player, so just a game. I play one time control. Well, I mean, rapid's probably better from the improvement point of view, but I almost always play bullet nowadays, so it would be bullet. And you can see my result here that, I am the swindler, which honestly, even though it's almost trolling me a little bit with who I play I do think it's actually a pretty accurate indication of my style, where, I do know that, like, a lot of my good results really come from not necessarily, like, just outplaying the opponent one from the very start to the very end, but often just, like, basically just being very resourceful, being a very good defender, and basically just tricking him at different points. And actually, my past chess trainer, Ian Rogers, actually is also a very tricky player, so that's probably why I started to pick up a lot of the skills. Also, like Brett Tyndall as well, a past coach trainer, also really helped me to develop that tactical vision. But yeah, having his more tactical coaches, you could say, definitely influenced my style in the long term, and now it's kind of like amplified a lot more again, let's say, with, my focus on solving like 300,000 or so puzzles, or however many puzzles I've chess bar solved by now. I've lost count already. But yeah, breaking down like the different sort of aspects of it, yeah, you can see I'm a little bit more intuitive than calculating, which I think is fairly true. Like, I used to think that my calculation was just really, really bad, but actually after a bit of time, like just sort of being away from like different chess things, I kind of realized that I'm actually a very good calculator. I just sort of was just giving myself credit, or like thinking, well, I can't find engine moves, I'm just bad at calculation. But yeah, engines sort of have a tendency to make you feel like you're awful at calculation when you might actually be pretty good at it for a human, which is kind of, I think, where I'm at. But yeah, I think that sort of fits very well. I am a bit more intuitive in general, as reflected by the fact that my like blitz and bullet are like better than my classical, and rapid is somewhere in the middle. In terms of attacking and positional, yeah, when I was young, I leant more towards positional, like in the very early years of my playing. But then after I started to move more toward tactical, and it would sort of go sometimes a bit back and forth on a pendulum. Yeah, definitely more attacking nowadays with my systems. Yeah, and between calm and emotional, like I used to be very much on the emotional side, but now I'm moving a bit more towards the calm aspect of it, as it were. So that kind of fits fairly well. And then yeah, in terms of like playful versus studious, like I even kind of admit I don't really study chess all that much. Like most of the effort I put in is really on like creating chess content and coaching, and trying to improve like my coaching systems and skill, as it were. So I think that kind of fits. I'm definitely much more on the playful side, where I put in a little bit of work each day, but it's not really aimed at improving my game. It's more just a kind of side benefit, you could say. And I actually think that, in this case, like in terms of who would play, like, obviously pick the Botez sisters because, they are, some of the most famous like chess players in the world, you could say. But I think that Abdus Satorov is probably a better example, I would say. Like I used to think that Abdus Satorov was like, just pure attacking, like, or the very end of the spectrum, but I think he's actually relatively close to balanced, as is shown here. He obviously has a very good mindset, like I'd say probably even calm, like at the very extreme of calm would probably fit him quite well. But yeah, like I think Abdus Satorov is sort of a better model player than the Botez sisters for this one. But okay, it's a more minor point, as it were. Because like when I look at sort of how I tend to play, I think that I've saw my styles being like the bullet version of if you merged Abdus Satorov and Gukesh in a kind of one player and they just played bullet, that would probably be a fairly accurate indication of what my playing style is like. And I mean, my bullet rating is like 3,100 on League Chess, and I have, played better than that before, so I think it's not, too, like, it's not, like, too arrogant to say, like, this sort of thing. But, yeah, basically you can sort of see the different personalities where, well, let's say if I click on, like, Machine, for example, which sounds like the absolute ideal sort of personality, then, yeah, you can sort of see, actually, that it is sort of fitting for Gukesh, funnily enough. But yeah, he is a little bit aimed more towards calculation, and that's not like the main difference, in like a little bit more attacking in a way than the other one we saw. But you can see like the differences are relatively small. Like if I'd picked a few that were more on the calculation side, it would have matched me with like Gukesh as the kind of model player. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is kind of sort of a cool thing. In terms of like the opening choices, it's kind of interesting how the opening choices actually fit pretty well with some of my best weapons. Where okay, I don't play the Benko Gambit anymore, but it used to be the system, like, when I had got to, like, 2900 blitz on chess.com for the first time, and 2950 blitz on chess.com, like, back when that was, like, top 50 in the world. Like, that was actually my main system against default at Benko, and it was doing very well. Then people started to get a lot better prepared for it with all the chess-able courses on how to beat it, and kind of became a lot less effective against good players. But, like, Kings in the attack, like, yeah, I don't play maybe Knight F3 followed by G3 that often. But if you look at my League Chess games, like, my most common line is to play 1 G3. And a lot of those cases I will play like Knight F3 and transfer back Kings in the attack. So it actually, I think this test is actually a pretty good one. Like, I would say a few of the questions probably can be refined where, like, you probably would be more accurate if you had, like, 3 options rather than 2 options. But Overall, I think it is actually pretty accurate in matching my style. I mean, what do you think? Like, if you've done this test already, it'd be cool to have you, like, let me know in the comments below, like, what result that you get. I'll have to put a link in the description so you can take the test for yourself and, see what you get. But, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this little video of me doing the chess personality quiz. Like I said, I think it's a really, really good quiz, actually. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next training. Take care.